You're a mean one, David Thornton. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with the first reaction of our 2024 holiday special, The Mean One. So this is a movie that is kind of part of a new trend for horror films, and that is horror films based on IPs that have entered the public domain. This is a really weird subgenre of horror that is very satirical in nature. It's meant to be like a joke. It's meant to be over the top and silly and ridiculous. That's the point. But they're based off of, like I said, IPs that have entered the public domain. It really started with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Um, and it's gone into like we have the Mean One. Next year they have a movie coming out called Screamboat that is based off of the Steamboat Willie IP. Um, they're making one called that I think is called the Slayer Man, which is based off of Popeye the Sailor Man. It's like they have all these kinds of things, and it's stupid, it's ridiculous, but that's the point. That's the appeal. And I've not seen any of these yet. There's only a few that are currently released. There's like the two Blood and Honey movies. There's this one, and I think there's one or two others. Um, but I haven't seen any of them yet. And so I decided, when deciding what to do for the holiday special this year, that this could be a fun idea. And then I thought, like, how far can we take this? How far can we take this and make this like kind of like ridiculously silly Christmas horror films? And that's kind of what we're doing for our theme this year. If you saw the announcement video we did last month to showcase what would be coming, we also have Werewolf Santa. We have, what's it called? Oh, It's a Wonderful Knife. And then we have Terrifier 3. Like, it's all like horror films centering around the holidays, but they're all also very silly and satirical and all that in nature. They're not meant to be serious films. The most serious of them is definitely Terrifier 3. And even that, it's like the Terrifier movies are very goofy, very tongue in cheek. Um, so yeah, we're starting with this one because while we're ending with Terrifier 3, I thought it made sense to start with another one that also stars David Howard Thornton. So if you don't know, David Howard Thornton is the actor who plays Art the Clown, and he's also the mean one in this. So that's really interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how he plays this. I have seen him in something else though. This isn't the only other role besides Art the Clown that I've seen him portray, because he was in Stream. We reacted to the movie Stream, and he was one of the masked killers in that. And you could very much tell by his physical mannerisms. It was very obvious. So I assume it's going to be very similar here. I assume he's going to have a lot of the same mannerisms, which could work here. I could absolutely see that working for the Grinch character. Now, I don't know like exactly what they do with the plot in this. All I know is this is obviously a parody on the Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. But I don't know if it's a parody on the original, the Jim Carrey live action version, or both. I don't know. I'm assuming it's probably a mix of both because I've seen what the design of the Mean One looks like, and it looks like the Jim Carrey version. He looks like like the design of the costume and everything and the makeup very much looks like it's trying to play off of like Jim Carrey's Grinch from the 2000 film. Which, by the way, every year around this time, like I see a bunch of like social media posts hating on that movie, and I'm just like, let's not do that for multiple reasons. But for the biggest reason is that I don't trust you if you hate the 2000 Jim Carrey live action Grinch movie, because that movie is a classic. Like that movie is an absolute classic, and I just don't trust you if you don't like that. um, Also, the one who lady in that, Martha, I think her name was, is like just really hot, and they like make a point of that in the film. It's Listen, I love that movie. It's so funny. And not just because of Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey, but a lot of the other characters and actors are just really fucking funny in it too. It's so good. Also, it's stupid as hell in the funniest way as well. Um, so I mean, I clearly enjoy the 2000 Grinch movie. I'm actually not a huge fan of the original like animated Grinch special. From like everyone's childhood, which is more accurate to the book, of course, which I also am not a huge fan of. I know that might sound like sacrilege, and if it is to you, fair enough. But I just felt like it didn't have enough to it. And I think that's why I liked the Jim Carrey movie more, because I feel like it filled in a lot of those gaps that I felt was missing. It filled in a lot of the issues I had, and it just made it more fun. It was more fun, more entertaining, more interesting. Like I'm not just gonna like praise the original just because it's closer to the Dr. Seuss original story and everything. I'm going to like look at what has the most of what I value in it. And for me, I've talked about it before. I put a lot of importance in story and characters, and I think that the 2000 movie did that excellently. I think the story and characters were fantastic. So I assume there's going to be at least some similarities to this. I don't know if they're going to have like the characters be whose or not. But I'm assuming like you're gonna have like the mean one, which I know already know that that's the name because they can't use the Grinch. That's just a copyright thing. He's probably gonna live on top of a mountain, neighboring the town. I assume the kills are gonna be very Christmas themed, probably specifically themed around things related to the Grinch. Like during the song, like "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch," there's a lot of things that are named in that. Like I think one of them is like cockroaches in your smile or something like that. There's probably going to be things related to that kind of stuff. Um, Maybe some references to the movie, to the Jim Carrey movie. There could be various things involved with that. You could do a lot. You could do a lot with this concept. And another thing that I've talked about that I always really value in horror movies specifically is creative kills. And I think that this movie is going to be phenomenal with creative kills. That is something that I value extremely highly for horror. I think that the best horror movies always get creative with their kills, always do some really unique stuff. And I'm very, very excited to see what they'll do in this one. Especially with David Howard Thornton being in it. um, so yeah, I'm just excited to see more of that, more of him, and hopefully I just really enjoy this for what it is. And like I said, I know it's a satire. I know it's meant to be poking fun. It's not meant to be taken too seriously. So I'm going into this with that in mind. Um, but hey, even a satire you can really like legitimately enjoy as a film too. Absolutely. So I think we should get right into this. I think we should check this out and see what this fun movie has in store for us. Let's get into it. Cutting in here real quick to remind you of all the awesome content we have on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions with 2 on Wednesday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. I do pre-record them during the week, but upload them on the weekend. And don't forget about all the gaming content over on the Princess of Gaming channel. We have Baldur's Gate 3 every single day, Horizon Forbidden West on Mondays and Fridays, Tuesdays and Thursdays is Life is Strange, Wednesdays and Sundays is Red Dead Redemption 2, and on Saturdays we have Nier Automata. A lot of great gaming content every day. Don't forget to click the link in the description below to follow it to today's reaction. I redirect everything just due to copyright reasons. And please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you want to see more awesome content such as this. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at today's reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, I think this might have been the cringiest movie I think I've ever seen. I genuinely don't think I've seen a cringier movie, at least not that I can think of off the top of my head. That being said, I fucking love this. Like, this was so stupid and cringy, but that's the appeal of it, because that's the point. It's a satire, it's a parody, it's a joke. It is intentionally meant to be stupid. It is intentionally meant to be seen as stupid. You're not supposed to take it seriously. You're supposed to have fun with it. I do have two problems, and I want to get those out of the way first. One, this movie wasted David Howard Thorne. David Howard Thorne is such a great physical actor. The mean one was barely on screen, and when he was either covered in shadow so you could barely see him, or it was like flashes of him. It's like, oh, he flashes on the screen and then it cuts back to the main girl. Then flashes back, cuts back to Cindy again. And it's just like, let him be on screen. It's like, even after the initial reveal of him, it's like, he's barely shown on screen. During all of the kills, he's like mostly in the shadow or just off screen. You only see bits of him at a time, and it's like, it really just underutilized David Howard Thorne. He didn't really get to shine as well as he does in something as the Terrifier films, or even Stream. He got to shine more in Stream, and he was wearing a mask the entire time. I mean, he has a lot of, face paint and prosthetics and stuff in both this and Terrifier, but still. You couldn't even see any facial expressions with him in Stream, and he still had more screen time and more... Like, he had more to him. That's my first issue. My second issue is this wasn't as creative as it should have been. With the concept like this, there is so much room for extreme creativity in the kills, and I was really disappointed with that. Like, there were some creative kills. There were a couple that were interesting. But for the most part, the kills were just very boring. Like, a lot of times it led to, like, either scratching or stabbing or impaling. And it's like, yay? I could see that in anything. It's like, I was expecting a lot more, like, Christmas-themed kills. Kills themed around, the Grinch and everything, but it just wasn't as creative as I was hoping. Now, that being said, those are my only two issues. I liked pretty much everything else about it. Even the stuff that was bad, because again, it was purposefully bad. Like, some of the shots were like really terrible shots. Some of the effects and visuals, like, at the end there, like, you see the guy appear on the news. Oh my god, that looked like it was, like, made by a low-budget YouTuber. That was so bad. And I don't mean that, I'm not trying to insult, like, low-budget YouTubers. I'm just saying, it's like, for an actual film, it should have looked better than that. But again, I kind of like that, because it's the appeal of the film. It's what it's supposed to be. You have that, like, little part at the end where it's like, oh, everybody's getting back into spirit, but it's like showing it like some tourism informational video, and it's like, that's just so dumb. I love how dumb it is. The way they integrated certain references in, like, when she's talking to Doc at the bar, and he's, like, basically saying all the words to the song and everything. And the way they, like, he says the mean one, and then the bartender's like, Mr. Finch. And it's like, oh my god, that's so fucking dumb. It's hilarious. And then, like, even the way they would say, like, Yahoo Dore and stuff, it's like, especially at the end after the kiss under the mistletoe, it's like, that is so fucking stupid. You are so dumb. I fucking love you, sons of bitches. Because that's what it is. It's so actively dumb and cringeworthy that it kind of loops right back around to being funny as fuck. And I think part of that is that the fact that the movie is almost like pretending like it's trying to paint itself as a serious horror film. Like the way it's presenting it is like almost like concernedly serious at all times. But I think it just works in that regard. Having pretty much all the victims being like terrible people and like, you know, actual good people for the most part not getting killed. The one guy at the diner, I think it was. No, it wasn't the diner, it was some other place. The dude who got the wrong box order. He didn't deserve to be killed. That was unfair. But it's like you saw the girl at the diner, the one who got locked in the freezer and everything for a time. It's like she didn't die. Because she didn't deserve to die. The mean one had no reason to go after her because she wasn't doing anything Christmassy. He went after the idiots who were there for SantaCon or something, whatever the fuck that was about. And like he let her go in the end. And like he only went after Cindy really when she started like basically luring him. He never really went after the deputy. Like, the only time, like, there was, like, the danger of that was because the deputy was in his cave and all. So it's like, yeah, for the most part, the victims all, like, felt like they deserved it. They were all assholes and pieces of shit and practically murderers. Like, the mayor and the sheriff were, like, practically murderers with the shit they were pulling. It's like, they were fucked up. They deserve death the most, I think. But, like, even Doc survives in the end. And he got hurt. He got attacked. But, to be fair, he only got attacked because he was shooting at the mean one. And his wife only died because back in that flashback because she was going to ship out some gifts. It's like there's so much interesting aspects to that. And I do enjoy like the dumb as fuck way that they killed him. Like literally killing him with kindness. And the fact that they killed him by the heart growing 3 sizes is fucking hilarious because it's like that's always been a joke I've heard like forever. It's like if the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes, it's like it would blow up pretty much. He would die. And it's like we got to see that happen. That's fucking amazing. That's great. For the times that we did get to see David Howard Thornton on screen, he did do really fucking well. Like he definitely like owned the role. And he was definitely taking some inspiration from Jim Carrey, because even though he didn't speak, you could tell with some of the mannerisms and the noises he was making, he was kind of imitating Jim Carrey's laugh as the Grinch. You could kind of hear it if you really listen to his like little noises, not the roars, but the other like chuckles and like ha 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 noises or whatever. You know what I mean. Stuff like that. You could definitely hear the comparison to Jim Carrey's Grinch. And yeah, I mean, that's a fair thing to try and do because it's something like real to imitate. Because with the original animated Grinch, it's like it was just the same guy narrating and speaking for the Grinch and everything. It's like it was just one dude doing it all. It didn't really have like a lot of personality outside of that. Um, the acting was super bad. But again, I went into that expecting this. I figured it was going to be like one of those kind of movies where it's like purposefully bad. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was, again, it was a so bad it's good kind of thing, to where it's like, I'm just enjoying the shit out of this. I'm just having fun. Like, this is just entertaining to me. And honestly, I got what I wanted from this. I got everything that I would have hoped for, outside of, again, David Howard Thornton being more on screen and the more creative kills. Those are the only real issues I had with it. But yeah, this I think this was a fun way to start. And I'm very excited to get into the rest of the holiday season with the rest of these specials. And I hope that they're just as fun and just as ridiculous and dumb. Um, just as a reminder, the next one we have on the list is Werewolf Santa. After that, we have It's a Wonderful Knife. And we are finishing off the month with Terrifier 3. So, just as a reminder for the rest of the stuff coming in the future. And as of now, I do want to hear your thoughts. Tell me what you thought of the main one in the comments below. And thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. I hope you're having a happy holiday, no matter what you celebrate this time of year, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Yule, no matter what, even if you don't celebrate anything specific. I hope you're still having a great season nonetheless. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.